Welcome to the Superconscious Success Podcast, where Jen and her Superconscious Success family co-hosts bring you valuable content each and every week on topics relating to manifestation, spirituality, and most of all, using your superconscious to manifest success in all areas of your life. Now on to today's episode.
Hey there, Superconscious Success fam. Welcome back to another amazing interview. And today we're going to be talking to Lila Naumovski. Lila is a beautiful Aussie all the way from Melbourne, Australia, and is a mum to a beautiful 7-year-old girl. She's been passionately devoted to Feng Shui and Chinese Astrology for over 17 years now. And in 2017, she officially studied Chinese Astrology and the 4 Pillars of Destiny, and she hasn't looked back since. Now, her passion for Feng Shui began in 2003 when the idea of it piqued her interest, and so she had a consultant help her to make positive changes in her own environment and her own life. Now, she's now helping other people to understand more about their unique gifts, their strengths, their weaknesses, their personalities, and their direction in life. And I'm really excited to talk to Lila more about this topic because I know very little about it, except for the fact that I am also a massive fan of Feng Shui. So let's get started. Hey, Lila, how are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. Hi.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad to have you on the podcast to discuss the 4 Pillars of Destiny because, as I mentioned to you before, I don't know a heck of a lot about Chinese astrology, although I do know a little bit about Feng Shui. And as I was telling you before, I tend to Feng Shui my house once or twice a year. And as you can tell by my backdrop, I have many of the Feng Shui elements there. So I'm looking forward to going through this for you, with you. So let's start off by just you giving us a little bit of an insight into who you are and what made you so interested in Chinese astrology to start with.
Okay, well, because I did have the interest in Feng Shui in regards to the home, so I saw how important it was to balance the energy in the different sections of our home.
Mm-hmm.
But then I found out that we can also Feng Shui ourselves. So when I found that out, that we can do our own by all the elements, using it in our everyday lives, and it opened a big door for me. So I wanted to learn more, and that's how 4 Pillars of Destiny came, and the Chinese astrology, because from that I was able to then, because the Feng Shui, as you will know, it's a horoscope for the home.
Mm-hmm.
So by finding out individual person, we've got the same. So then the year is our first pillar, when we were born. And then the second pillar is made up from the month we're born. And then the day pillar is the third pillar. And then the 4th pillar is the hour we're born. So having all those 4 pillars interpreted, it can give us so much value in our everyday life.
Excellent, excellent. So can you go into a little bit into what the 4 Pillars of Destiny are and what happens if, for instance, we only have 3 pillars, because a lot of us don't remember the time that we're born, or, our parents don't even remember the time. So what happens if one of those pillars is kind of missing?
We can still tell a lot. Yeah. We can still tell a lot from the 3 pillars. And then what also is exciting is that every 10 years we go through a luck cycle, and that gives us what's happening currently. So even if we don't have the hour, we can still get some sort of guide what's happening in your current life.
Excellent. So you were talking about the year, the month, the day, and the hour. So can you kind of expand on that a little bit as to what each of them mean?
Okay, well, the first pillar is the year we were born. So what that also represents is, which is really good, how people perceive you.
Yeah.
So just knowing that, and also it's our life between when we're born to 15 years of age.
Okay.
And also it represents our life with our grandparents as well, and ancestors. So just depending on where you are at today, then the year will mean something different. So when you're living in that year, which is 0 to 15, you'll be more sensitive to that part of your life. And then as you age, it'll be something that's there, but sort of like in a distance.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, totally.
And then the month represents your life between 15 and 35.
Okay.
And also your relationship with your parents. And then later in your life will represent your career.
So the month will?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Sorry, I think my screen's doing something. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's all fine.
Okay.
Probably gone to sleep or something.
All right, it's doing something. And then the day is our main one, actually. So this represents our personality and our foundations, and also a relationship with our partner. It's called like house of spouse.
Okay.
And then the hour is our life from 55 onwards. So even if we don't know that, we can still check, like I said, in the luck pillar.
Yeah.
And it's also our relationship with our children as well.
Ah, that's found in the hour.
In the hour, yes.
Wow. And what sort of information can we find with all of this? What are some of the areas that are focused on when it comes to the 4 pillars of destiny?
Well, the main thing is, so once you know what your 4 pillars are, so all the elements, so then this is something I'll let you know, because there's also, because the pillars are split into 2.
Mm-hmm.
So the top is called the heavenly stems, and then the bottom is the earthly branches.
Okay.
So we're all born, with 8, if you know your hour pillar. So then what happens is, then this year, like a lot of people might know, it's the year of the ox.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a metal ox. Hopefully I don't get that wrong.
Okay.
So then I would check and see what that means for you. So I will look at all the 4 pillars and your luck cycle, and then give you an idea, okay, this year will be about, you may focus more about your money, or could be about your family, or for everyone will be something different.
Mm-hmm.
So then that way, then you can be, if you're aware of it, you won't get as distracted, because, sometimes our path keeps taking us somewhere else, but then you get pulled back again. So then by knowing that, you'll do those tasks that represent that for you, because the energy is there for it to make it easier. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. So we talk about Feng Shui, and so for those that don't know, can you explain a little bit about what Feng Shui is? Because we did say it had to do with energy, it had to do with your home. Can you just explain for our listeners what Feng Shui actually is?
Okay, it is balancing the energy in your home. So every home has got, like same as the elements in our 4 pillars. So every home has got a different section, and then we can activate it. We can remedy that section to benefit us, because every home, it's based on the age of the home and the orientation of the house. And then with the current energy coming in, it'll show you which section of the house is, like, for example, because I do the remedy every year and every month. So I'll go change it every month. So maybe like, I don't know on top of my head which one it is for this month. But then there are bells and coins you can move around in your home to activate those areas. So I don't know if you do that. And that'll bring more harmony in your home. For example, if there's an ill section, you remedying that area so it doesn't affect you. Yeah. At the same time, because I haven't fully studied the Feng Shui side, I'm just sharing how I use it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because then when you're aware of that, even if your destiny is not balanced, the house can help you. Yeah. The energy of the home. So then, or even the position of your bed or where you sleep can help you in your everyday life. Yeah. So yeah, the Chinese belief is another gift that we can use.
Yeah, and I know that when I Feng Shui my house, and it's all about decluttering and getting rid of the stuff in your house that you don't need, so that you've got the energy flowing at a rapid rate, so flowing smoothly and efficiently. Because if you've got a lot of stuff in your house all cluttered up, then the energy's not able to flow, which means that the energy that you need for certain areas of your life are also not able to flow, and it stagnates, and then all sorts of things can pop up, from illness to debt or whatever area it's sort of affecting. And so by focusing on particular areas of your house that you're struggling with at that particular time, Finances is a big one for many people.
Yeah.
So if you manage to work on that particular area, because I work on the 9 bagwas, so if you manage to work on that particular area, then you can actually help to enhance the energy of that particular space. So yeah, I mean, Feng Shui is incredible, and I think it's something that it's an ancient tradition that has been around for thousands and thousands of years. And I just know myself that once I've done it, the energy within the house is so different. Everybody seems to be calmer and a lot more balanced than prior to it. So it's quite an interesting topic, and it does go along very nicely with the Chinese astrology. So are the elements of Feng Shui the same as the elements of the Chinese astrology?
Yes, they're the same. So they're wood, fire, earth, metal, and water.
Mm-hmm.
So each section will have an area where it'll need fire, or maybe an area doesn't need fire. So when you're aware of that, you'll try not to put anything like red in an area that doesn't like fire.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
so knowing each section also represents an element.
Mm-hmm.
Because the north is the water element. So then for every house, water might mean different, because depending on the age of the house. So some north areas, water might be good, and some might not be good.
Yeah.
So then you just remedy that area. Because even when you're saying about the financial side, because in this home that I'm in, because there was an area that was built later, so it's still seen as like the extension is seen like another house. So I have to remedy that part of the house on top of my normal house.
Yeah.
So what happens is, if you know where the wealth is, and I don't know if you use that, because a lot of public consultants do different remedies.
Yeah.
The one that I've been following is like little clocks.
Mm-hmm.
And you have them in the area, because they're always like them ticking, because it's an area where it needs movement, and you can't always be there to move. So by having little clocks, it helps that. And that's why I always notice I don't have to worry about money, because somehow it just shows up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And house is looking after it. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, and that's the thing, most people that know me and know what I do will understand that I'm a massive manifester. That's what my area is. It's on manifestation, law of attraction, laws of the universe, along with working alongside the divine. And putting Feng Shui into the mix just really accelerates the energy, because we are all energy. Every part of us is energy. Everything around us is energy. And so if we activate that energy as much as we can by doing little remedies like you say, having a continuous clock ticking, which is showing that it's not stagnant. The energy is not stagnant. It's constantly moving. I think is a great way of going about it. So fantastic. Now, we did briefly mention before about the heavenly stems and the earthly branches. Now, I'd like you to go into that a little bit more for us so that we understand what you're talking about there.
All right. So the heavenly stems, they are the top pillar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made up of yin, which is the light, and then yang, the dark. So each element has got yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
So there's yin and yang wood, yin and yang fire, yin and yang earth, yin and yang metal, and yin and yang water. I think I got them.
Yeah.
And then the earthly branches, that's the bottom part of our pillars. And this is using 12 animals. So a lot of people have heard the zodiac signs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they are the rat, ox, tiger, dragon, snake, horse, I'm up to goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig.
Mm-hmm.
And then they rotate. So every 12 years they'll start again.
Okay.
So and then so by knowing which ones relate to you, then you're able to see what the year is going to be, like I was sharing before. And also they have relationships, all these the heavenly and the earthly branches. So heavenly with another heavenly, the earthly with another earthly branch. So they may combine together, and then they completely make a whole different element.
Wow, okay.
They may clash, and that will give you information what area of your life you need to take more care of.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're aware of that.
Okay, so let's say this year's the year of the ox, and so if we have a look at our particular animal for our particular year, what does it symbolize when we're talking about that particular year? So what does it? So let's say I'm a rat, and we're in the year of the ox. What would that symbolize? Does it just mean that when our animals align, that then that's when we manifest, or that's when things go smoothly, or what does that kind of mean?
Yeah, because so many different ways you can look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will do is, okay, so I've got the people's 4 pillars, so which will be 4 different animals, and I'll know what their luck pillar is. So there's another 5th animal that's added in there. And then the year, it's either harmonizes. So, for example, when you said rat, so the ox and the rat, they do harmonize.
Okay.
So that'll be a good time for you in that area of your life. So depending where the rat shows up.
Yep.
And then, for example, if someone's got an ox or a goat, they may find this year more challenging.
Right, okay.
Because what happens is whatever the year is, it's like if someone's got an ox, it's offending the year.
Yep.
I know a lot of people think like if they are born in the year of the ox, it's their year this year, but it sort of like works opposite.
Right.
Because you're offending the year. So you'll need to because then there's remedies.
Yeah.
Because I'm born in the year of the ox.
Okay.
So then what happens if you do feel the challenges, then you can remedy the year by wearing a pendant of the rat. So just
right, okay. So it kind of balances it.
Yeah, to balance. So you're not taking on the negative part of the year. You just take the positive.
Okay. And so for instance, I was born in, and I'm going to give my age away here, I was born in 1979. So I don't know whether you know off the top of your head what animal that would be, because I haven't really looked into it too much.
I don't have the calendar, but I know someone was born monkey, so maybe you're a goat.
A goat? I'm a goat.
I'm just thinking because the monkey is 1980, so I'm trying to work it out backwards. Well, I can get my calendar because I use a 1,000-year calendar.
Yeah,
and it's all in Chinese. So that's why they know, because every year they'll tell me what the year is, and I'll look at the month, the day to give the people.
Apparently I've just looked it up, and I'm a sheep.
Yeah, so that's sheep, goat is the same. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the same. So okay, so how does the goat work in the year of the ox?
Okay, well that's the one that's challenged this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So because you're saying it's in the year you're born.
Yep.
And you're over 15. Yeah.
I am. Yep.
It won't be affecting you as much, but it'll be more about your environment, like ancestors, something like that. You might be questioning more this year.
Okay.
It's probably, and then because I don't know what element you are, because then once I know what element, then I'll see because they're both earth.
Right, okay.
So then there's another layer that's added, because then once you know, like if you're an earth element, for example. Yep. And so it'll be more about you, yourself, family and friends. Yeah. Could be more challenged. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you're thinking about a change or something like that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean it's interesting to look into all of this, because I love numerology as well. And astrology is something I've really wanted to be delving into. So it was really great to talk to you today a bit more about the Chinese astrology. Now, there are different types of astrology out there. There are, aren't there? Yeah. So this one, uses all the animals, and then the Western obviously uses more of the planets and the
and it's got less elements.
Okay.
So I don't know too much about the Western one. So this is the one that I've had more interest, because you can get more personalized. Yeah. And it goes, deeper, as you can find, from the day you're born, and then all the different cycles and what each element means for you, because they all represent at the same time, like what you control as an element, and then what controls you, what gives you birth in a way. There's an element that's strong there. And then what you do, you produce an element as well. So then the cycle just continues.
Wow. Super interesting, super interesting. And so before we do finish up, I do want to go through I was reading up about it, and they were talking about the 10 gods. Now, what are the 10 gods when it comes to Chinese astrology?
Okay, this is another name to the heavenly stems.
Okay, yep.
So there's yin and yang of each element. And then what happens is also then you can go deep, as in there's one direct and one's indirect. So then starting from, if the person's yang earth, for example, and then each of the yin and yang of the other elements represent something different.
Okay.
So for example, for an earth element, the water element is direct. The water element will mean their money.
Yeah.
And then the direct will be like money coming in from their hard work. For example, they work hard for their money during that time. And indirect will be just money's flowing from a different way. They maybe just got, inheritance, or they could have won something. So just naturally money will come during that time. So depending on, if it's yin water or yang water. That makes sense. So each of them, represent something different.
Excellent. Fantastic. Now, Lila, if somebody was wanting to, because you do coaching, don't you?
Yes, I can do one-on-one or in a program.
Because you've got a program now, it's a 4-week program that you can undertake, and you do that a few times a year?
Yes, that's correct.
So is that face-to-face for people in Melbourne, or is it online, or what? How does that work?
It's online through Facebook group I've created, where every week they'll receive a video and just to go through the report. So it's what is it now? I think it's a 9-page report.
Okay.
For reading. And then, so each week I'll go through a few pages explaining the different parts, whether it's their 4 pillars, and then there's, like I said, clashes, combines, and then they find personally what it means for them.
Yep.
And also then they do a journal, so for the week, just to see what was happening for them. And then I'll give them a calendar to go back to see how those elements related to them, whether it was about their money that time or were they studying. So it just breaks it down in that way. Yeah.
Excellent. So that's a 4-week program. So how do they get in touch with you, Lila?
Well, they can book through my website. So I've got a link, unless I send you the link.
Yeah, send me the link. I'll put that on the show notes.
Yeah. And I do a Facebook page as well.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, I've really enjoyed this chat. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave our listeners with today, Lila, about the power of Chinese astrology and how it can benefit them by incorporating it into their lives?
Probably like you're just knowing every month is different.
Yep.
So, for example, the month of April is represented by a dragon. So that's every year.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, the dragon is about doing and moving. And this is the month, people, as much as they want to sit still, it's not a good month to sit still. It's about doing and not absorbing the negative.
Yeah.
So it fits into what we all want. And also, the other good thing is knowing that each month represents a body part and organ you can take care of.
Okay.
So, this month is about our chest and skin. So it's good to get it off your chest. So don't keep anything in. So that's probably the tip for this month.
Excellent. Fantastic. So everyone, we know how powerful our heart is. And so that's what we need to be focusing on, not just for the month of April, but for every month. Get off your chest what's troubling you, and whether that's speaking to other people, whether that's writing it down. Today of the recording is actually the new moon, and this is a great time to release those energies and to bring new desires and new intentions and new creations into your existence. So I'm out there every new moon. I don't know, do you do the moon cycles too, Lila?
Sometimes I do, but it's just It just goes too quick. The months go too quick.
I know. If you haven't had a chance to take a look on my Superconscious Success podcast, I actually did an interview for my summit with a lady called Ramia Pillay. Absolutely fantastic. And we talked about manifesting with the moon. And so we talk about the moon cycles, and it's definitely something to go and listen to because, you know, just being able to put those intentions out every month. And as you say, you know, if you incorporate all of these different techniques, you look at Chinese astrology, you look at Feng Shui, it all comes down to one thing, is energy.
Yep.
And so it's all about the energy of the animals. It's all about the energy of the planets. It's all about the energy of us as people. So, yeah, I think it's really good to be able to learn all these different things and to absorb all the different things. And this year, this month in particular, get that stuff off your chest, write it down, forgive. That's one of the big things when it comes to your heart and to your chest. Just forgive and learn to forgive others for what's been put in front of you, because it's the first step to really releasing. So thank you so much, Lila, for those tips that you've given us today, and going a bit more into Chinese astrology. And I will put all of those details in the show notes so people can go and check out your details.
Cool. Thank you. It was fun.
Wonderful. Thanks, Lila.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.